little bit, and we're going to be, getting set up here for a minute. And I just welcome everybody into the room. Leo and I are just having a casual conversation here. I'm searching for the feed now that we're going live. And as soon as this shows up, then we can actually, it says Russ Johns is going live right now.
There it is. I see that.
So you can actually jump in there, turn your sound down so we don't get feedback. Because feedback, is for rock and roll, but we don't necessarily need it for every day. Wendy, how are you this morning? Good morning. And welcome to the Fire Broadcast. And we are rocking and rolling today on what day is it? It's a Tuesday. You have a few things happening in your world when you're thinking about what day is it. So just a couple of housekeeping efforts. If you're not connected with Leo, go connect with Leo. He's a LinkedIn aficionado. He loves LinkedIn, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about LinkedIn as well. He's also a mastermind certified. I want to find out what that means. And then also debt-free real estate. I think does that cover it, Leo?
It does. It's I run a real estate investment fund that's debt-free. I was co-founder of the Mastermind Association, and through that, a certified mastermind host.
Fantastic. So, welcome to the Pirate Broadcast. If you're not following the Pirate Broadcast on LinkedIn, follow the Pirate Broadcast. We can also be found over on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and podcasting, all fine podcasting platforms. So you can chase us down anywhere. And I want to welcome Leo to the room. I want to welcome, you're officially a pirate, Leo. So thank you so much for being here.
Arr.
And so we're going to be talking about relationships, building communities, some fun things, some business strategies and solutions. And welcome to the Pirate Broadcast.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So, Leo, tell us how you arrived here on LinkedIn doing what you're doing, and why do you stick around on LinkedIn? What's the deal with LinkedIn? Tell us your perspective on it today.
LinkedIn is, and I got in on LinkedIn years and years ago. I don't even remember how long I've been on here, but I like the LinkedIn feed because, people's puppies are cute and all, but I don't need that every day, right? It's different from the other social media, which is more about, me, look at what I'm doing, look at who I know, look at my family, look at what I'm doing today. And LinkedIn is just more, let's just get down to business and see if we can all make some money together.
Yeah. It's amazing how people's perception of what needs to be online varies across the platforms, and every platform has a personality. So are you on other platforms, or do you primarily hang out on LinkedIn?
No, I'm on all the other platforms. I show off my animals and my kids and what I'm doing, and sometimes more than others.
Yeah.
So we all partake in that. It's just, what do you need now, and what do you need today, which is what's going to bring you to different feeds.
So if you had one recommendation for someone just joining LinkedIn, and you can only deliver one nugget of knowledge today, what would that nugget of knowledge be for new LinkedIn users?
When you're connecting with new people, take a minute and read their profile and actually acknowledge something about what they do.
That's a great
copy and paste messages into your friend requests, which again, we're all guilty of doing, or just banging on the connect button, but actually take a minute.
Yeah.
And I had out of all of the messages I get, I got one yesterday where somebody actually read what I did and had a valid question while they were connecting as friends. And that hasn't happened in, I don't even know how long.
We need to start a movement.
We do.
Kindness is cool, folks. That's kind. Just take a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to recognize what other people are doing and acknowledge that fact. So that's a great tip, Leo. I also want to do a little kindness is cool effort here. Vicky O'Neill, good morning. Wendy, good morning. Kathy, thank you so much. Good morning. Fred Costa, thank you so much. Moose, what are you doing? I'm back in Houston this week, so hope you're well. Derek Monroe, Frank, thank you. He's a pirate. So Gabriel, Randy McNeely, Randy, kindness is cool. So you're a kindness fan, a fan of kindness and generosity. And I think that's really a trend that we're seeing, or at least I would like to believe I'm seeing more, Leo, is this idea that you can actually build connections, you build communities. And that's the whole point of a mastermind. You know, I'm in a couple of masterminds, and I love the power of a mastermind where you're bringing like-minded individuals together. And, you know, if it gets too large, then it becomes LinkedIn, right? If it's smaller and more intimate, you can actually get some work done. So talk a little bit about those to those people that may not be as familiar with masterminds. So how did you get into a mastermind, and what prompted you, and what are you doing with those?
So interesting. How I got into masterminds was actually through Greg Reed, through, Think and Grow Rich, 3 Feet from Gold, Napoleon Hill Foundation. Greg's is now a friend of mine. I've known him for years, but it's prior to knowing him, I didn't really know masterminds. I didn't know what they were. And nowadays, most masterminds that you find advertised, I mean, they're not masterminds, they're seminars. They're a tell you or sell you something. And, so what we did is we created a mastermind association to then bring it back to what a mastermind was truly supposed to be. It's a small group of people to create a collective mind to help solve each other's issues and problems. We all have knowledge that other people need. We just don't know they need it. Yeah. And a mastermind is an opportunity for us to be able to see what those people need, see what our individual experiences have brought us, and then how to share that. And you can't do that when you've got 40, 50, 60 people in a room.
No, that becomes a seminar, because nobody can, you can't share everybody's thoughts or ideas, right?
Not at all.
And also on the other side of that same coin, I think that the beauty of a mastermind is other people will see the gifts that you possess when you don't necessarily see them yourself.
Correct.
And so having someone say, hey, Leo, you really are good at this. You should probably do something with that, right? A skill or a craft or an idea or a thought. And let's expand on that, because having a little bit of support around you, it could travel miles. It's just one of those things that you can just really appreciate from other people, and the fact that you can do it in a safe space. Nobody's going, what stays in the group, what's said in the group, it stays in the group. And it's kind of like a protected space for me anyway. That's my experience in masterminds, my particular experience.
That's exactly how they're supposed to be. You're supposed to have a little tight network of people, and not everybody fits. And as we have people coming in and out of the mastermind, it's like some people show up and they're just there to network. They can't get vulnerable, they can't talk, and they can't get out of pitching what they're trying to do to make money. And we can't help them. So there's people that come in, we ask them to leave, and I mean, we got a waiting list of people that want to come in. But we keep our group small to like 15 people.
Yeah, we can help the helpless,
right,
but not the unwilling.
Right, exactly. And and you can really help people dive down and get focused on what it is that they need or what they want. I mean, we had somebody last week. I mean, they thought they wanted to focus on some computer app that they had, and that was really just what they were trying to do because they needed money, and they were hungry, and they had that look in them. But once we dove into what they actually want to do and what they like to do, we kind of helped them through that, and then help them reframe the fact of, if you don't make this app work, you're going to lose your house. That's a place of fear, as opposed to, I need to make this app work, because if I don't, I'm going to lose the house. Therefore, this app has to work. And that's a drive.
Yeah.
So we were able to help frame him from a drive of coming from a place of fear to a place of, I can't lose because I will not give up. And his whole energy changed, and it was amazing.
Yeah. When you imagine the outcome of something and you're so invested in it, I think it's even more important to have a mastermind because of the blind spots that you tend to get. We're in a cone of knowledge where we have an understanding of what we've learned. What we don't have is the questions that we don't know how to answer, or we don't even think about answering it. Right.
Right.
So having another individual around with a little more experience or a different experience or something along those lines is really important. And so if you have an opportunity to get in a mastermind or be in a mastermind, I recommend that you consider that. So just one of those things. So do you work on any subject, or how are your masterminds structured?
So we don't really, the whole idea and what we're doing is, I'm in real estate, right? I run a debt-free real estate investment fund.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I want to do is get a bunch of real estate people around me, because then we're all going to be sharing our egos and what works for us. And, oh, do it this way. I don't want real estate people like that in my mastermind. I want people that are just out doing business, at a high level, that have different experiences than I do. I can go to a real estate investment group and talk to those people and find out what kind of struggles they run into, but I don't need that in a mastermind.
Yeah.
What I need is fresh perspective from outside of my wheelhouse. So, they say you want, a group of peers. Well, it's a group of peers, but not necessarily a group of peers in your industry.
Yeah.
I find more value of having other people outside of my industry to see things from a different perspective.
And I think that's also incredibly important to understand, is that you need people that are complementary to your industry, not directly in competition, because then you get the same mind, you get the same information around the industry, and it's really hard to see outside the box. And I think that's really important to understand and appreciate, because it's so infrequent that we can actually have somebody that can see it from a whole new perspective. And let's appreciate that. Let's have gratitude for people that are around us that can see that perspective. So
absolutely. And from the last time I was in the opportunity chair, I don't need guidance. My struggle isn't like in finding deals or raising capital or anything like that. Actually, it was more, how do I get on and find more podcasts? How do I do, things like this? And it has nothing to do with real estate. So, having other people that are out there and other influencers to be able to come around and supply that knowledge and give me other paths is valuable.
Well, it expands your ability to make connections, right?
It does. And by having people in other industries, it expands your box of knowledge that you can tap.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the fact that we're streaming on, 4 different platforms, and then before the end of the day, you'll be on my blog post, and then have the opportunity to share out multiple podcast platforms as well. That's a pretty powerful tool. I think that's an extreme opportunity to just create content. It's simple, it's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's ability to reach other people in different markets that you wouldn't normally have an opportunity to connect with is very powerful.
It is. And, I appreciate you've taken the time and have set this up in such a way where, you do have a broad reach. And I think that's super cool.
Well,
I don't have the time or the bandwidth to do it myself. So thank you for doing it.
Well, part of my skill set and my things that get me up in the morning are building systems that I can actually use to help other people, and highlighting people like yourself, Leo. It brings me joy. And also, I mean, it was pretty simple to get on the show. I believe.
Absolutely, it was.
Booked it. I'm booked all the way through February right now. I mean,
fantastic.
So 5 days a week, I'm doing a show, and to me, this gets me up in the morning. It gets me up in the day. I'm currently in Houston right now. Normally I'm in Arizona, and I can travel anywhere and do this. I can get it done. I have all my other work. I got assistants. I got systems built out. So the next phase of this is to be able to share this technology and this platform with other people that want to do the same thing. So imagine yourself, you're doing a show that you want to bring guests on, like, loan officers, or, funding, or contractors, or you want to bring other people around the world to find other influencers that are doing the same thing or similar things that complement what you're doing. So this whole platform can then, because we're pirates now, right? We can do this. So all of a sudden you have an opportunity to have conversations with people that you wouldn't normally have conversations with. And I just think it's a very powerful tool that a lot of people are underestimating in the power of what's going on around us. So,
yeah, it's there's quite a few people I know that are in my sphere that have podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And, I respect the fact that they do the same thing every day, and they have a specific time where they jump on and they do these podcasts. That's great. I mean, for a lot of the things that I do, the only thing I do absolutely regularly is get up in the morning, make my coffee, and take my kid to school. And then my day
That's the only hard and fast schedule you have.
Right. And then the middle of the day is filled with, what did I not got done on my list yesterday?
Yeah, I love it. And that's the beauty of it is technology has allowed us to be a little more flexible, in the real estate industry, other, websites and all of these other tools that you're using to find out, what's going on in the world and in the real estate is probably pretty powerful. It's probably assisted you in building your fund, I would imagine.
It's the way that I've started the investment fund and, put together our risk reduction roadmap. It's really not technology based. It's relationship based. I mean, we buy amazing deals in the Midwest. I mean, there's a triplex right now that I'm looking at that the rents coming in are $2,500 a month, and I have the opportunity to pick it up for $75,000.
Wow.
You don't find those on the MLS. You don't find those in the newspaper. You find those by shaking hands, creating relationships, and having people pick up the phone and call you. And I guess you can find those with technology, but it's the relationships that I value. And even, running around the West Coast, raising money and going to, all of these different galas and networking events over the past years, it's developing those relationships. And you walk into a room and there's people you've been seeing for years. And you can't get that on technology.
Yeah. Well, and when I think really on another show, we were talking about the idea that having the connection on LinkedIn, using technology, and then coming together in person.
Yeah.
It kind of reduces the awkward, who are you and what do you do and why am I talking to you kind of effort. And I think that's an area. So utilizing the technology where it makes sense to build a relationship, I think is really the key takeaway here.
And, it really is. There was, I ran into somebody this last week, and, we ran into each other and we're like, hey, good to see you again. Where did we meet? I don't really know. And then later that night, it was like, we're connected on Facebook and LinkedIn, but apparently we've never actually met. It was just like, hey, good to see you again.
And that's exactly the effect you can have. It's amazing to think that, you become acquainted with people online as you have conversations with them. And as you can develop time. And then if you have an opportunity to see them in person, that is just accelerated, and you recognize each other. You can see them for what they are. But I think the two things that I really, really love, especially about live streaming and podcasting and using the technology, is the fact that people understand who you are and what you do and how you do it. And, people are going to say, hey, I really want to work with Leo. I'm going to call him up, connect with him. Not sure when we're going to do something. It's just when it happens, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you plant the seed for the relationship, because I think that we all need to grow and expand and meet new people. And it's part of the process of being humans. It's like we're connecting all the time.
Yeah, we are. And it pays to pay attention.
It does pay to pay attention.
And to go back, like we said earlier in the show, of paying attention to people that you're trying to friend on LinkedIn or Facebook, taking a moment just to figure out who they are and see if they're a fit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other thing about that is that's really powerful is the ability, like you were saying in the mastermind, when you're in a scarcity mode, all you see is challenges. And when you're in an opportunity mode, all you see is potential and opportunities.
Shiny objects.
Yeah, shiny objects. It's like, holy cow, I'm in Squirrelville. It's like, what? Where can I go next? Because every place is an opportunity. And It really, I'm sure that you've had that experience in your life in the past. It's like, we all go up and down, and you have your moments of like, what am I doing and why am I doing it? And then the next day or something happens and you go saying, hey, this is great. I'm going to, this is where I need to be. This is what I'm doing. And so it's interesting to have people around you saying, well, time out. Let's take a reality check.
It is absolutely helpful. And, there's been, it's goofy. And back to the power of the mastermind. I was at a secret knock last year, and there was a little group of us standing in line for a taco truck for lunch. And, somehow the line moved out around us, and we were having such an intense little discussion about how we could help each other. And it was really short, but everybody walked away from that with their minds just kind of blown because of how much knowledge had just gotten thrown around. And, I left with a different perspective on, it was actually on investors and events that I was going to. And another guy, he left with a completely different mindset on sales and how he was coming from a sales point of view. And it was
enlightening.
Happen anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, real estate in general, what's your take on what's happening in real estate today?
So, the market's hot, it's frothy, and, the markets are going to change, and people are going to lose money, and there's going to be another transfer of wealth in the stock market. It's bound to happen. Everything's cyclical. Yeah. And, it's happened. Well, it's happened to all of us. I mean, I had a family member who they lost their whole retirement in, 07, 08, and which prompted me to start South Bend 7, the fund that I'm running now. And we have no loans, no leverage, no liabilities, and we buy everything cash. It's a cash flow play. Where we buy cash flowing residential real estate in the Midwest. Yeah. And we buy everything at super deep discount. So we're building the equity right into place. And, it's just we tried to create a safer place for people to invest into real estate where they don't also have to deal with the tenants and toilets. We deal with all of that. We deal with managers. So South Bend really was created from a place of love and trying to help people not lose money in the next crash, or at least put some place where the money they don't want to lose into some place that's a little bit safer.
Yeah. Well, the thing about real estate is they're not making any more property, right?
Exactly. That is true.
You can't create any more dirt really, unless you go up or down, I guess.
But it's a lot. Real estate's a lot of work, and to own property is
a lot of work.
And there's a lot of people that they know that there's a ton of wealth in real estate, but the last thing they want to do is have to deal with a vacancy or have to deal with fixing something, either because they don't know how to or they don't have the time to.
Right. Right.
And there's a ton of funds out there where you can park your money, and you just have to figure out which one's best for you and who's got the unique point that attracts people as an investor.
Yeah. I really, I grew up in commercial construction. I think the first dollar I ever made was when I was about 5 years old, when the owner of the property came by and I was sweeping up the construction site. Dad used to grab me out of bed every Saturday and take me to the job site, and I'd go to work picking up nails or whatever had to be done. And so then my mother was a real estate broker, so I've been in and out of the cycles and everything else. I've seen it and experienced that, and it's just always fascinating to me of how the markets change, and real estate's hot and then it's not, and then it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, and there's a lot of variables that we just have to you have to learn through a process. It's not something you wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to invest in real estate, because there is a lot of hassle about it. And so thank you for doing that work and offering people the opportunity to park their money. So,
well, it's interesting right now. We're kind of at a time again where, people are talking about how the market's going up and up and up. And if you don't get it now, you're not going to, because there's no signs of slowing.
Yeah.
They were saying the exact same thing in 06.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, I've seen the swings, I feel it too. I'm like, oh, it's frothy. It's good. I better get it now. And then I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Everybody's doing that and everyone's talking about it. Yeah. And when I got some real estate groups and they go, oh, there's no signs of slowing down. It's going to do this for years.
Yeah.
I just got to shake my head and just, oh man, it's going right down.
This is not the first time you've been here.
Right.
So coming back, LinkedIn, let's recap a couple of ideas here. So with LinkedIn, you want to be able to actually review a profile. I love it when people propose to do something that you do in an offer as soon as you connect. It's like, okay, I can help you with this. And it's like, well, if you read my profile, that's what I do. So
right. Right.
It's like, so a couple of things, just pay attention, be kind, and actually, pay attention to what's in the profile before you connect, or actually if you're replying to a connection, make sure that you actually personalize it and make something useful for the individual. I think that's always a good play. What are your thoughts about on voice messages or video in general, going back and forth with LinkedIn? Are you for or against, or distraction, or what are your thoughts?
No, I like little video messages and audio messages. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't figured out how to do them on LinkedIn. I tried sending you a few and they don't send, or they do something goofy. So I've been using WhatsApp, and I'll take a quick little video message all the time and send them out, because then when they respond, I get to see them too.
Yeah.
See the emotion and hear the inflection in their voice, and, get a better feel of what their thoughts are in their response. So I love that.
I'll have to send you a video message, and actually it will allow you to reply to me and see. You'll have to see, because I got Ruben Dow of Dub app coming on the podcast, and I'm not sure what date he's on, but he's a great one. I love the app. Love my Dub is what I say. And it really allows a lot of personalized messages to go out in a quick amount of time. And that's how I was able to actually utilize and book the entire month of February quickly and easily with the Pirate Broadcast. So I'd love to share that with you, Leo, and we'll get together and do that.
I would love that. Thank you.
So any last moment, I want to recap a couple of these and actually thank the people that have joined us. Vicky, Randy, Lori, Angie, thank you so much. Rachel, all of the individuals that joined the Pirate Broadcast, all the gratitude in the world. I love that you're here. I love that you can actually join in. I would love also LinkedIn, because I know LinkedIn watches every day, Leo. So you have to think that one day they're going to come up with a solution that we can actually respond in real time a little more effectively. So when that happens, let me know, because I'll be happy to share it. Maureen, how are you? Randy McNeely, all of the individuals here are waiting to hear, they're sitting on the edge of the chair, Leo, on if you had to leave one thing with the world today, what would it be?
I mean, like a saying or something?
Yeah, profound thought,
I
a
got one
gift of
for you.
knowledge, something that you want to leave with the world in.
So it's about action, and action's been a big thing. In fact, Greg Reed has a book, Wealth Made Easy, and I was featured in there when he put that out earlier. I guess it was late last year, and it's about knowledge and action. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't take action, you really don't know anything at all. You can't put it to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Leo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for becoming a pirate, and I look forward to sharing all the gifts and the knowledge on russjohns.com/piratebroadcast. And if you're out and about and you're traveling around on the online world, I'd love it if you would actually subscribe to YouTube, follow me on Facebook, or some other platforms, Twitter, Periscope, maybe. Just connect with me so we can actually play in other places and maybe see some other perspectives from another view. So, Leo, thank you so much for all the things you're doing. And is LinkedIn the best place for them to connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. LinkedIn is absolutely the best place to get a hold of me. And if any of you guys are new out there following Russ's show, make sure you follow him and connect up with him, because it's good to be a pirate. Arr.
Thank you so much. And as you know, kindness is cool. Smiles are free.
Can I get a shirt with that says on that?
Yeah.
Kindness is cool. Smiles are free.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you should make those.
I think I have a store that's halfway completed on russjohns.com, so you can actually go there to the cart, because I used to do 2-minute tips too, in 10 minutes or less. So I have been a content creator for years, Leo, so happy to help and if there's anything I can do to help out, let me know.
You got it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Take care, everyone. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Leo.